Hey, what's up everyone? In this video, we're going to be looking at the submit form page for the upcoming Canvas starter site. This is going to cover the CSS packages, both in light and dark mode, that make the submit form really stand out compared to what you're used to seeing with nothing but CSS. Looking here on my screen, we have the Canvas product page on the MyListing Club website. And a really important section for these starter sites is the build notes section. So I'm going to scroll down here to that section. And so here we are, the build notes. This is my running documentation for how I'm building this. Very important for those that want to try to replicate what I've done or, to learn, or those that are a customer of the starter site. So we're going to scroll down here to submit form and we'll extend this toggle. I'm going to pull this over to my other screen and I'm going to walk through the highlights of this. There's always things that there's always more highlights than what I document. Sometimes I miss something, but there's a lot to these things. I'm gonna go ahead and remove myself here. And let's go ahead and dive in. So how do we get to this, get to this page, right? Typically on a MyListing website in the top right, you're gonna see an add listing button, which does nothing good for the customer journey. So I like to create what's called a get started page. And this button up here links to that. So I'll go ahead and click on that. This is my custom get started page. This is a product already available for download. It's part of the starter site. The step we're going to use here is the list. So this is essentially an add listing step. This is for this particular starter site. I've done a pop-up. This is our add listing form, our add listing page, where you choose your package and all that good stuff. I'm going to go ahead and just choose the top level package so we can move forward. We are now in the add listing page, the submit form. This is the submit form for the event listing type specifically. And we can see that up here in the URL. Okay. All right. So let's go through the highlights here. This is the form just for education, because I've gotten to a point where I just don't assume anything anymore, that people know certain things. So I try to go really back to the basics with some of this explanations on things. This is the form listing owners use to fill in their listing details. The submit form content is built using the listing type field. So everything you see in here, as far as these fields and everything, that is all built within the actual listing type. Okay, so if we go in here and, like I said, we are creating an event listing. These fields here are what defines how this field gets built. So everything you see in here is, as far as functionality and content and things like that. What I'm covering in this video is the design and a little bit of added functionality in here to make it really spruce it up, okay? Custom headings. I used Local Translate, which is a free WordPress plugin, and it's included with the starter site, to change your listing details. So typically on a MyListing site up here at the top, you'll see it'll just say your listing details. It's kind of boring. Can't really inject any text in there unless you use Local Translate, which I've done here. So you'll see what I've done here. One of the things I did was I made this text right here a link. So if someone needs some help, they can click that link. That's going to pull up a form, which is also available for download through the club right now. It's just a form. So you guys can create your own form pop-up if you want. But if you're a starter site customer or you just want to get that template, you can download it. Yeah. So moving on down, single listing character counter. This is an add-on from the MyListing Club. So as you see here, 52 characters remaining. You can change this to whatever you want. If you want to allow more characters, everything that I've done here and configured this plugin with is for SEO purposes. So you see, as I type, the characters remaining changes. This is really valuable to eliminate frustration on the listing owner's part. And they get frustrated, like, I don't know how many characters I have left or whatever. This tells them exactly what they've got left. So in the about section, or maybe you just call it the description or whatever you want to call that description field, you'll see there, characters, all customizable. Tagline's got some characters in there, all customizable. Okay, if you're a starter site customer, that add-on is included for no additional cost when you purchase the starter site. Everybody else, you can purchase it and download it from the club. Okay, so that is the single listing character counter. Next up is special mention is the image upload fields. I'm going to get through the special mentions I have in my build notes, and then we'll just circle back. So what did I write down here? Using the description area for image-based fields, I included a See Image Guidelines and Tips link that pulls up the Canvas Submit Form Image Upload 101 pop-up. That's a mouthful. So you'll see there, I have a nice little link here. Previously on starter sites, I would list out step by step with, maybe a link to like a third-party application. Here, I thought it would be nice just to keep the form nice and tidy and include a helper link here. Okay, so you click that. That's going to pull up another pop-up with the steps on how to, what their image size should be for clarity, the image size limits that your site allows, and then that link to that third-party tool, which opens in a new window. You can link to any image optimization tool you want. I prefer Squish. It's a awesome free tool. I would definitely check that out. What else? Oh yeah. So if I pull that back up, that template, this is available through the club. If they click this please help right here, that's going to pull up another form. That same form we saw earlier. So they can choose whatever they need help with here, let's support or whatever. But so an extra layer of support, if you will. Okay, miscellaneous highlights. My listing endpoint menu, analytics, listings, etc. I hide the menu during the add, edit, listing phase as it's a distraction, it takes up unnecessary space, etc. So without the CSS that I've added, you would typically see another bar up here at the top, which looks like this bar. See this bar up here at the top here, right here? That bar appears on this page, which doesn't make any sense at all. It's just there's no need to show that bar on it when you're editing or adding a listing. So I removed that. Text-based fields. I styled the text input areas with CSS so it's easier for listing owners to see where to input their text. So you can see that right here. There's like a little gray box where you could easily tell that that's where you should start entering text. Otherwise, if you don't have that, it's just a white space and you just don't know what the heck to do. P editor fields. I use CSS. That's actually, I took that out. So let me skip that one. Well, so let me talk about that for a second. By default, if you use the WP editor field to add text, just a word of caution, if you want to have a dark mode look, you cannot style that field. It's going to have just a white background no matter what you do. I asked the developers about it. They've confirmed there's nothing that can be done unless they choose to do it. But it's just going to be a stark white background. That's why I took it out. It looks horrible on dark mode. So I just took it out and replaced it with a text area field. Just something to be aware of. If you're on light mode, if you like the light mode look, there's no worries there. But okay, checkbox fields. I styled the checkboxes with CSS to appear as radio buttons to avoid the typical, just to give a different look here. Some nice radio buttons look instead of the typical square checkboxes. Just a different look. Location field, drop down map pin. I styled the map pin icon shown in the drop down when the address is entered to match the website branding, i.e. the accent color. So let's go ahead and type in an address here. And that is this pin right here, you see. If you do not do that, it's going to be some random color that does not match your branding. So I styled that. Location field, lock map pin, and enter coordinates. Using Loco Translate, I styled these links to appear as buttons, which isn't the. Well, actually, let me back up here a bit. Here, I have to reword this. So what I'm talking about here is the location field coordinate input. So you have to click this, enter coordinate links manually. Oh, I see what. Okay, I remember. It's been a while. So what I did is I make this actually look like a link. Before it didn't look like a link. So now it does. So you can click on that. So that's what I mean by that. I styled these with CSS so it's easier for listing owners to see where to input the coordinates. I added color background like I did for the text-based field. So you can see here. So without the CSS that I put in, these just look like white blobs and you don't know where to enter the latitude and longitude in there. What else? Location field, add location button. I styled this with CSS to match the website branding. Let me go back. Let's see. Location field, add locate. Oh, sorry. This button right here. Without it, you just get. I'll show you this here. I'll show you some of this stuff. It's easy just to toggle this switch on and off. So I'll show you some of these. Let's look at one example here. Let's look at all of this address stuff. I'm going to duplicate this tab. Some of this CSS will look broken. That's intentional because I toggled that off. But let's look at the location, for example. Just look at the difference. Enter coordinates manually. You see what I mean by that? It actually looks all right in there. There must be some other. I have to reword this. Maybe I forgot what I did there, but see the difference here? The boxes with the latitude and the longitude. You can't even tell where to put that in. And then you look at the add location button. It's drab. It's boring. Doesn't match the branding at all. It's just like this boring gray. So I styled that. Here's the radio buttons. This is what you're going to get without that. Just these boring gray check boxes. This is the text boxes I mentioned. You can't even tell where you're supposed to type the text in. That's that. There's just a lot of stuff. So let's toggle this snippet back on and let's refresh. We'll keep this going with this one. Okay, so let's continue where we left off here. I'll circle back and check some of this stuff, especially this. I can't remember if I actually, maybe I found I didn't need to do this, but I thought I did. Anyway, let's move on. So I styled the location button, work hours field, add hours button, same thing. If you see here, where's the work hours? Where's that at? Oh, that's it. The event doesn't have work hours, so you won't be able to see that button. But it's basically what I did is I just made the styling to look like this. Otherwise, it's that gray color again. Work hours field, copy the selected days button. I styled this with CSS to match the website button styling. Again, we could switch. Switch this to business. All right, so this will show you the work hours here. Here we go. So this is the button that's styling, add hours. Otherwise, it'd be just that gray. What else? Oh, what else did I say here? Sorry, I'm waffling here a bit, trying to figure out what I did here. Work hours, add hours button, work hours field, copy to selected days button. I styled this as well. So, this right here. I can't remember what it is without that. Let me duplicate this. And on this one, I will turn off the code snippet so we can see exactly what it is. Okay, so before we had the add hours button, just like gray, boring gray. Oh, this right here, this is what it was. When you click into there, you see there's just like this weird, it's just like this weird button that's got a gray, it's just weird. So with mine, I styled it to match right here. So it matches. And you see those radio buttons then carry over, which is cool, compared to what you see here, these boring checkboxes. Okay, moving on. Single select fields. Inconsistency fixes. MyListing displays an icon next to results for single select fields, but not multi-select fields. Okay. So I see what they mean. So I added and also removed the single select field. So I think what I'm talking about here is like in this select field, there's like this icon that appears over here, all the way at the right. I can't get my cursor over here. There's like this icon that appears at the far right. It's kind of an ugly icon. The single select has it, but the multi-select doesn't. So I got rid of it for two reasons. One, it's just an ugly icon. Two, it's just the inconsistencies. Now it's just everything's consistent, whether it's a single select or not. What else? Multi-select fields. Bug and inconsistency fixes. I styled these fields to match the styling of the single select fields to resolve a design bug within my listing. I can't remember what that is off the top of my head. There's something, I just have to trust me that there's an issue that I fixed. So this is multi-select. So they're consistent now, long story short. Next big one is the side navigation. This right here is way different. So let's look at, this is what you get out of the box with MyListing, just like a list with, I don't know what these circles are, just super boring. But now you have this really cool hover effect. They indent a little bit. They are colored, just worlds different. This looks way more professional in my opinion. Some really nice shading to make them really pop off the screen and make them look like tabs. Okay, let's see. Let's roll through here and let's see if I notice anything else. Obviously, the sections here are colored. So that's cool. This is what you get. Otherwise, you just get this boring white background and the headings. Let me see if I see anything else here of special note. Yeah, everything that's got where you can enter text has a nice gray background. Anywhere. Yeah, see how these are nice buttons here, or sorry, put boxes. It's clearly distinguishable that they're a box. Text entry box. This feedback form down here. This is unique styling right here. Publish and save. Let's look at that. That's a big difference. You see here, this is what you get out of the box. Hard to distinguish between all of those. The other thing that I do is I remove the preview button because that actually causes more problems than it's worth. It's better just, in my opinion, just to get rid of that button. So nice, clean setup here. You can see the difference here, how boring it is without a lot of this CSS. So in my opinion, a really professional form. Yeah, big difference. All right, guys. Hope this was let's get your juices flowing, and I will catch you in the next video. See ya. Oh no, dark mode, really important piece. All right, let's go toggle off the light mode. Gosh, I almost missed one of the most important pieces. So let's toggle off the light and the dark mode. Let's go over to dark mode and let's toggle that on. Just those two snippets to make sure we got everything covered. And just like this with the flip of a switch, boom, dark mode. So before and after, just simple flip of a switch. It's going to pull in your accent color. Let's look at, for example, if they click this link, you'll see this is a white form, a form that's in light mode. You'll notice that there's some text that looks wonky and stuff. Again, that's because this form, there's a dark mode version of this form that you can, if you're a starter site customer, slam dunk, we just swap everything out. You swap everything out unless you have a service with me or I help you, but you just flip flop your forms around to the dark mode if that's the look that you want to go for. So that's that. Nice text entry. We got the character counter, all that stuff. Okay, nice radio buttons again. This right here is because of the map. So if you want to do a map skin that's a dark map skin, that will make that look, match the dark mode. Okay, the default look on this starter site is going to be light mode, so that's why that looks like that. Enter the coordinates. You'll see these boxes are nicely styled again to look like separate boxes. All the drop downs look good. Everything down to the finite details. But again, like I said, with the club, the guarantee, the starter site guarantee, the club guarantee, if you notice any issues, just let me know and I will address it. It looks like there is an icon issue that I will address right here. This is an example. If you say, hey, Ryan, like this icon right here should be light colored, and you show me that on the starter site and your site, and I'll just fix it. And I'll just give you the code for it. We're good to go. This could be actually working. I think it might be something else coming into play here, but it shouldn't. So I'll fix that for sure. Anyway, to not get sidetracked, all of this work hours here, this is all uniquely styled, just down to the finite details. Okay, same thing with like the media. If they want to pull up that form to get help, click on that. This again, there's a dark mode version of this that you just swap that out and you're good to go. Really nice fields here for entering text that you just won't get otherwise. This is the only exception here, is this is a bit tougher to add. I could probably do it, but just chose not to. But you could probably put a background on this too, but I think this looks okay because you've got this bottom border here that kind of tells you that something goes in there, whereas the other ones don't really give you that much to go on. And then of course, the side navigation here and the publish and save buttons down here, just a really, really, really clean look. Okay. All these links, pull up forms. All right, guys, now I'm for sure out of here. So I will catch you in the next video. Sorry for that hiccup. See ya.